Hi, my name is Cameron Barnett, and I am in Dr. Duncan's Intro to Service Learning 1020-902. Over the past semester, I've gotten the chance to work at Good Samaritan Ministries here in Johnson City. I am going to share a little bit about what I did and a little bit about the ministry itself in my presentation, and I've learned a whole lot through it. I definitely think I'll be going back, and I hope that you guys enjoy my presentation. So first I'm going to say a little bit about the agency where I worked. So as I said before, I worked at Good Samaritan Ministries here in Johnson City. It's a nonprofit organization that was founded in Johnson City on March 8th, 1985. There's plenty of Good Samaritan ministries all throughout the United States, but the one here, like I said, was founded in 1985. And Good Samaritan works to help meet the needs of those in the community who cannot provide for themselves, whether that be clothing or food, shelter, things like that. We help people who are low income, homeless, children, veterans, and the elderly. I know that right before I finished my hours, they were talking about doing a backpack program for children. So they do lots of things like that for back to school, where they have lots of school supplies and things like that. And then there were several homeless people that I had come in while I was there, and they all come in either looking for a place to shower, clean or warm clothes, just things like that. So some things I learned about Good Samaritan were it's not like any of the other Good Samaritans where you may have volunteered, or I know it's definitely not the same as where I volunteered back home, and that's one of the reasons that I decided to ask to be placed at Good Samaritan here, because I knew a little bit about the organization, but I'm here to tell you right now that I'm really glad that it was not the same, because I learned so much more about the community here and about how much good that this organization does for the community, such as they give clean clothes to homeless people, as I stated earlier. They give them a place to clean up, because most of the time when you're on the streets, there's not really many places to do that. So it gives them a place to shower and shave and get a little bit of a nicer look so they can go and possibly go to a job interview, things like that. It also gives them bags of food to get them through the week. So we had boxes of food, and then we had bags of food. Boxes of food were for more of a family type setting, because there was more boxed meals and things like that were in them, but the bags of food were more for 1 to 2 people, and it could get them through 1 to 2 weeks, just depending on how they used the food and if they had any other source of food that they were going to be eating or anything like that. Attached at the back of the building at Good Samaritan is a thrift store. There's all kinds of stuff in there. It almost kind of looks like a Goodwill when you walk in. But people donate clothes and furniture and anything that they may have taken and sold, maybe to like a Plato's Closet or something like that. They donate it to the thrift store instead, and all the money that the thrift store makes helps go to fund Good Samaritan. But all of this stuff, I've actually bought some stuff from the Good Samaritan thrift store while I was there. But there's all kinds of things that you can buy, and there's also lots of things that you could buy, such as big name brands. I know I found a pair of Nike shorts. They had some people that were donating expensive pairs of shoes, just very nice clothes that you could get for so much cheaper at the thrift store than you could for a retail price anywhere else. Also, there's financial counselors available to help those who may not be able to pay their bills for the month. So they have people that help people who have overdue bills. They allow them to come in once their bills are overdue, and they help to pay them for that month. If somebody has a sudden loss of income and can't pay it, Good Samaritan is always there to help to give those people the money that they may not have gotten otherwise. Also, it just kind of helps people who may have just gotten a job to figure out a way to organize their money a little better so they don't just go and blow it all on one thing or the other. A lot of Good Samaritan's funding comes from the public. Since Good Samaritan is a nonprofit, there are several companies that choose to donate either food or even people here in the community or businesses in the community that choose to donate to Good Samaritan on a regular basis. Also, at the beginning of each season, so summer, spring, fall, and winter, they send out a newsletter with an envelope for those who want to donate. My last day at Good Samaritan, I was stuffing these envelopes, and the newsletters just have a little bit of what Good Samaritan is going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, and it also just has what your donations are going to and things like that. I think that the lady there said that we were stuffing close to 3,000 envelopes, and so that's just how many people have expressed interest in donating. So they send it out and give it to people and hope to get back money from those people. And they don't just receive donations whenever they send out those envelopes, but that's where the majority of those donations come from. Also, they get food donations, and those are accepted all throughout the week from either big companies or just different people throughout the community that may be going through their pantries and just not realize that they have so much food that they just don't need anymore. I know that they receive help from Walmart, from Food City. I want to say that they have FDA regulated food too, so I know that they get shipments from different trucks because some of the canned food can't be touched with anything else. But they also have different restaurants and things like that that may donate food that they can't use anymore, such as Panera Bread donates a lot of their leftover pastries from the day before because obviously Panera cooks everything fresh. So everything that's left at the end of the day, they throw it into a big bag and take it to Good Samaritan, and we use that to give in the food bags. And the agency's always been sufficiently funded, and so if there's ever a surplus, such as when they send out those letters, if they ever get a whole bunch back, they just use that for the times that they may not have gotten the money back in other situations. So my job at Good Samaritan pretty much consisted of the two things that you see here. Most of my volunteer hours I spent working with food donations. I helped restock the pantry with things that we had in a vault. So all of the big donations of different things we keep in a vault, and whenever we get low in the pantry, we take it from the vault to the pantry. And the pantry is where we collect items to put in the food boxes and the food bags and things like that. I helped count and sort donations whenever people just brought maybe a box that had different random canned goods or anything like that. I helped to sort those and count them because we had to keep track of it for the organization itself. I helped to make the food boxes because the food boxes had to be ready to just carry to the person whenever they needed to have one. So it's easier to just go ahead and have everything thrown in because it is a specific number of each thing that goes in a food box. So it's easy to just go ahead and have it on hand, ready to go whenever somebody needs one. Also, I spent a couple of my volunteer hours working in the thrift store. So they have this ginormous bin for people to come and drop clothes off whenever the thrift store is closed. However, when it's open, people can just drive up to the little garage port that they have and donate it while the people are there. With that being said, when they're closed, they receive tons of donations. So they always get really behind with sorting through the clothes because they don't take anything into the thrift store that's stained or ripped. And however, they do send those stained and ripped things overseas. And Good Samaritan actually receives money for the clothes that they can send overseas. So they do that with the clothes that they may not be able to sell in the store. However, the clothes that you can sell, we have to hang up and take from that little garage port area into the thrift store. And so I did that a lot of my time there as well. Since I'm not from the Johnson City area, Good Samaritan taught me a lot about the community here. My time at my site was really eye-opening, not because I didn't realize that homelessness and poverty existed, but rather the fact that I feel like as I've gotten older, I've grown blind-eyed to the fact that those things exist. You always see it happening all around you, and you kind of grow accustomed to the fact that you're always going to see someone who doesn't have a place to live, but it kind of hardens your heart. And so I think this kind of helped to make me realize that I can help these people even if it's just in the slightest way. The agency does so much for the community, and they continue to do so much. And so I hope that throughout my time here at ETSU, I'll be able to continue volunteering there just randomly and being able to watch the organization grow. And honestly, to be able to go back and just talk with the people that I met there. The women that I had the pleasure of working with while I was there really made the most impact on my heart. No matter what they had gone through after I left that day, no matter what they were going through at home, every time I came in, they always had a smiling face. And I'll never forget a lady named Miss Lisa that was there. Every time I came in, I would ask her how she was doing, and she would just say, "I'm really blessed," no matter what was going on with her. And I think that that's a lesson that not me, but everybody can learn from, and the fact that no matter what you could be going through, you can always say that you're blessed because you're here to have another day. I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation, and I hope that you learned a little bit about Good Samaritan, and maybe you'll want to go and volunteer there someday too. Thanks.